previous episode, we learned how to use EasyCatalog to import data into InDesign. We also had a look at some tips on how to configure field content for better document automation. Now I'll show you how to turn a sample document into an InDesign template that can be used to create a fully automated brochure. First, I am going to remove all product instances except for the first two, which I will use to create the foundation for our automated document. 2 formatting rules. Let's take a closer look at the first model, which is the one we will use for each category level. If you want to check a large number of fields from the same record, it's easier to use the Record Viewer panel. Open it from the Window, EasyCatalog Record Viewer menu. The Record Viewer panel displays each record as a datasheet. This makes it much easier to determine the fields that make up a record and examine their contents. For example, in this field, which we have configured as a picture field, we can check the thumbnail image referenced by its contents. When using the Data panel, you can quickly view the contents of the selected record in the Record Viewer panel by selecting the Range option in the Record Viewer panel. You can use these horizontal scroll arrows to easily navigate between different records in our data source. Okay, let's create our first formatting rule. The Product Category field contains the title of each category. So to display it in our document, we first need to insert this field specifier. To do this, I first select the text in the document. I am very careful not to select the paragraph character as well. Remember that if you can't see the hidden characters in the text, you need to check the menu option, Type, Show Hidden Characters. Now that we have correctly selected all the text that makes up the headline, we right-click on the Product Category field and select the Insert Field Specifier option. We've just transformed a static text into a dynamic one that will be automatically updated by EasyCatalog with the content of the field corresponding to the record to be paginated. Notice how InDesign displays the field name surrounded by blue square brackets. This indicates the placement of a field specifier. Now we need to do the same with the Category Description field. Select all the text in the frame that corresponds to the product description, then right-click the Category Description field and choose Insert Field Specifier again. Now let's move to the graphic frame. First select the frame with the Selection tool, then right-click on the Product Image field and select the Insert Field Specifier command. In the case of a tagged graphic frame, its field specifier will appear in the lower right-hand corner of the frame. And although they are displayed in normal view mode, they behave just like an invisible character. That is, they are neither printed nor exported. The image content of the frame is not deleted when we assign the field specifier, so let's double-click the frame to select the contents and press delete. That's much better. At the moment, we have two different types of elements. One is an image frame, and the other is a text frame with two field specifiers. We can drag the same record over each frame and see how the field specifiers are correctly replaced by the field contents. But what is really interesting is to tell EasyCatalog that the two frames belong to the same record. This way, you only have to drag and drop a record into the document once, and both frames will be filled with the corresponding data of the same record. In order for EasyCatalog to know that the two items belong to the same record, we have to group them. So select them both and choose Object Group. Now we are done. We have just created our first formatting rule. To test if it works as expected, just drag a record from the Data panel onto our pagination rule and boom, the field markers are replaced with the data from the record you just dragged. By the way, a very common mistake is to try to drag the contents of a record by grabbing one of its fields. This won't work. It will only select the fields of those records. To place the contents of a record into the document, you must drag the record from this column, the first one. Let's move on to our second formatting rule, a table that displays all products of the same brand. As you may recall, it consists of a table with two headings. This logo is the brand logo type. And just as in the previous case, to display the image corresponding to each record, simply select the frame, right-click on the brand logo field, and choose Insert Field Specifier. Here we can see the field marker. Since we already had a brand image in our sketch graphic frame, we need to delete it. This will give us a clean formatting rule without any previous data. Repeat the same steps for the remaining fields. The brand name is stored in the product brand field, so we insert its field specifier. The icon to be displayed when the brand is a seasonal novelty is in the product new field, so we insert that field specifier now. The first header row is already finished. Let's move on to the second row. In this case, we don't want to insert a field specifier since it consists of a fixed text. That is, it must always be exactly the same content for all tables in the document. Finally, to complete this formatting rule, we only need to insert the field specifiers of the rows corresponding to the body of the table. As we have seen in the previous episodes, EasyCatalog only needs a single template body row to know which fields to place, and then it will automatically create as many rows as needed to place all the products of the same brand. So delete all rows except the first one. Now, I am going to select the contents of each cell and replace them with the appropriate field specifiers. The data from the product code field will be placed in the code column. In the name column, insert the product name field. Next, insert the product description field. In the scale column, insert the product scale field. Notice that InDesign changes the row height to accommodate all of the text in the product name field. Don't worry, EasyCatalog will make the row as tall as necessary to fit all the text. Finally, insert the product price field into the price column. And we are done. Now, let's test our formatting rule by dragging a brand group from the data panel. Boom! It works! As you can see, this brand has 3 product codes, so EasyCatalog has automatically created 3 rows. And since this brand is not a novelty, it has left the picture frame empty. Now I'm going to press Command-Z, Control-Z in Windows to return to the initial state and drag the second group, which has 6 products. In this case, we can't see all the rows in the table because the text frame is not big enough to accommodate them. And let's face it, we don't want to have to manually adjust each text frame after pagination. So let's see how we can use EasyCatalog to solve this problem once and for all. First, let's undo the changes with Command-Z. Now open another EasyCatalog panel, the Pagination Rules panel. You'll find it in the window menu, EasyCatalog Pagination Rules. This panel offers many options that allow you to control the position and appearance of formatting rules when placed on the page. In our case, we want the text frame to automatically adjust to the height of the table, so we double-click on the Fit option and select the Frame Height to Content Height option. This will make the frame the same height as the table. So, if the table is small, the frame will be smaller, and if it is very large, the frame will be as large as necessary. Press OK. Now let's try to paginate this brand again, which has 6 products, over the formatting rule, and... Great! Now all 6 rows are displayed. There is still one little detail I'm not happy about. It turns out that we are left with an empty graphic frame if a brand is not a novelty. And having to remove empty frames by hand is not something I like. So I'm going to select this image frame. And in the Pagination Rules panel, double-click on the Actions option. The New Action dialog opens. First, enter the name of the field that contains the new icon, in our case, Product New. Next, select the criteria you want the field to match from the operator drop-down menu. As you may recall, in the previous tutorial, we replaced the value no with nothing. Therefore, a field with no content is an empty field. That's the option we're going to choose. And what do we want to happen when the field is empty? Well, we want to hide the image frame. So in the Action drop-down menu, I choose the Hide option. Now we are ready. With this setting, an empty image frame will be automatically hidden and will only be shown again if it has the icon New. Click OK to close the dialog. It's time to try our formatting rule again. Drag the group of records again. And boom, the image frame is gone. I undo the changes again to try out a different brand, which I'm sure is a novelty. Awesome! There it is, the new icon. Now both formatting rules work as intended. Our next step is to store our formatting rules in the Formatting Rules panel. Go to Window, EasyCatalog Formatting Rules to open it. Now I drag the first formatting rule into the panel. Name it Category. And the second one, Brand. That's it. No. You can now delete the formatting rules from the document. Just select them and press the Delete key. Now watch how quickly you can paginate all the products in the same category, grouped by brand. Simply select the Ships group and drag the category formatting rule into the document. Note that if a formatting rule does not automatically populate with the record data when you drag it into the document, simply enable the Populate on Drag and Drop option from the panel context menu. Drag again the category formatting rule and boom, the category information is correctly placed in the document. Now do the same with the rest of the subcategories. The Ships category has 3 brands, so I select the first one and drag the brand formatting rule. There it is. Now the next one. And the third. Done. If your intention is to control exactly how the catalog looks as you design it, the exact product placement, the size of each frame, etc., this last step will be the final one. Of course, you can create as many formatting rules as you need to get more design variations. For example, you can create one specific formatting rule for horizontal photos and another for vertical photos. Or you can create a larger formatting rule for featured products. In short, the possibilities are endless. In any case, the important thing is that you only have to worry about the design, because EasyCatalog will take care of the most tedious part, which is filling in the data correctly. It turns out that the most important thing about these catalogs is that they are homogeneous and, above all, that they can be produced quickly. This way, you can deliver a fully updated catalog to your customers in record time and generate it as many times as necessary. To do this, we need automatic pagination. In the Formatting Rules panel, create a new rule set by clicking the New Rule Set icon and name it, you guessed it, Catalog. Now drag both rules into the Catalog folder. We're ready for pagination. As we saw in the previous episodes, to automatically paginate this type of catalog, we first need to configure a master text frame on the primary page. So navigate to the first parent page and create a text frame, fitting it to the borders defined by the page margins. Click on this icon to convert it to a primary text flow. Now create another text frame on the opposite page and link them together. Since these frames will contain the main text flow, EasyCatalog will be able to automatically insert formatting rules into the first frame until it is completely filled with text. Then it will create a new page and continue placing formatting rules, and so on until all the product's info in the data panel selection have been placed. To paginate an entire catalog in this way, we need to place the text cursor inside the primary text frame on the first page of the document. Select the text tool and click inside the text frame. The cursor is now waiting for us. But before we start paginating the document, we need to do a little bit of thinking. It turns out that we have two formatting rules, one for categories and one for brands. Moreover, we want EasyCatalog to apply the category formatting rule first, then all its brands, and then start again with the next category. Let me explain this with an example. Let's paginate the first group with the current configuration and see what happens. Select the first category in the data panel and choose Paginate. Now select the rule set we created in the previous step. And in the pagination method, let's select the Into Text Flow option. Remember that this option will insert our formatting rules as anchored elements in the main text frame. Leave the remaining options as they are and click OK. As you can see, it has placed as many category formatting rules as there are products in our data panel selection. Why is this? Because by default, EasyCatalog places one formatting rule for each record. Let's correct this. First, press Command-Z or Control-Z if you are using a Windows computer to undo the pagination. As you can see in the Usage drop-down menu, it says Records. What this means is that EasyCatalog will place this formatting rule each time it encounters a new record. But we want to place it only once for each category group, so select the Groups option. Now in the Group Name field, select the field name we used to group the records. Do you remember its name? No? No? It was the Product category field. Do the same for the other formatting rule. And select the field Product Brand. Now click the OK button to close the formatting rule panel. And let's try paginating this group again. EasyCatalog. Now correctly placed one category formatting rule per group and one brand formatting rule per brand group. Perfect! EasyCatalog is paginating the two formatting rules properly. Now let's try to paginate the first three main categories. First, undo the previous pagination with Command-Z. Then, select the first three groups of the data panel. Paginate. Boom. It is working just fine. However, I think this project needs a final tuning to be really perfect. I would like to have each main category start on a page of its own. So, undo the pagination again with Command-Z and open the Paginate dialog again. This time I'm going to select one field in the Break on Field Change drop-down menu, the Product category field. This way, every time its value changes, EasyCatalog will insert a break. For example, after the placement of the last product in the category Ships, it will detect that the value of the Product category field changes to a new text, Planes. Therefore, it will insert a break. In the Break Type drop-down menu, select Page Break. This will insert a page break and start the pagination of the new category on the next page. Press the OK button. Great. Every time the category value changes, a new page is created. Much better. Now there is only one important detail left. We want EasyCatalog to replace this placeholder text with the name of the category displayed on the page. Remember that this is an element that appears in the same position on all pages, so we need to edit it in the parent page. Here is the text we want to replace. Select it and insert the Product category field specifier. In order for EasyCatalog to change it according to the value of the first formatting rule placed on the page, go back to the Pagination Rules panel. With the text frame selected, choose the Furniture Data option in the Paginate attribute. A new attribute, Populate Using, appears in the panel. Right-click to display the list of options and select the first one, First Item on Page. The other options may be useful for a different type of project. First Item on Spread will place the value of the first product on a pair of facing pages. first item on document will place the same value on all pages, corresponding to the first product of the entire document. And if you want to use the value of the last item, select Last Item on Document. Now repeat the same steps for the frame on the opposite page. And we are done. EasyCatalog will automatically insert the name of the corresponding category in each page by selecting the Update Furniture menu option. As you can see, the name displayed is exactly the same as the category name of the first product on the page. With the document completely finished and working perfectly, all that remains is to save it in InDesign template format. First, let me delete all the page content. Choose File, Save As, and select InDesign Template from the Format drop-down menu. When you open a template file, InDesign opens a blank copy of the document, named Untitled. This will keep our template intact for future catalogs. Now select the master text frame of the new document, and this time we will create a full catalog. Triple-click on the first column of the data pane to select all records in the pane. Now choose Paginate, keeping the options we have already used. To automatically update the furniture data, check the Update Furniture after Pagination box. Now press OK. And that's it. As I've shown you, it's pretty easy to automate this kind of catalog with EasyCatalog. And best of all, your data is directly linked to the database, so any changes you make to the original data are applied to the final catalog with a simple click of the mouse. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video and want to stay up to date with our latest content, be sure to hit the subscribe button. Stay tuned for our next video, and remember, every view, like, and comment helps us bring you more of what you love. See you next time.